DeFi has been up and coming since DeFi summer 2020, but the problem is the only collateral that we can use is crypto-based collateral, which makes the bear market a lot rougher because if your collateral is the same thing that you're speculating on, it's a house of cards. But what if there was a protocol that allowed you to use an uncorrelated asset as collateral while you speculate in the crypto markets? Well, today we're talking about a platform that does just that. Call it Edel Finance. This is going to be an in-depth fundamental analysis per usual. We're going to go through the white paper or the docs. We're going to go through the team. We're going to go through the social media, their smart contract audits, tokenomics, literally everything that we can find. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you guys if I'm buying this project or not and why. So per usual, none of this is financial advice. And before we jump into it, go ahead and scan this QR code to join our free community. Inside, you'll get access to our weekly profits that we make through DeFi, weekly market update, and a bunch of other cool things. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. All right, so here we are at the docs. Welcome to Edel. So stocks that earn rent, the liquidity engine for tokenized equities and more. So guys, this is basically Aave for stocks. Aave is a platform where you can stake your Bitcoin, stake your Ethereum, use it as collateral to borrow more Ethereum, more Bitcoin or stable coins. But they're allowing you to do that here with stocks. And like I said in the beginning, this cushions the bear market a lot. Like a big reason why we had the bear market last time, or why it was so strenuous, because there will always be bear markets, is because it caused a lot of forced selling because people were getting liquidated because people were having a lot of their collateral in Bitcoin and ETH. And if the value of your collateral drops, you get liquidated. Versus using a platform like this, if your collateral is Apple stock, Tesla stock, or Facebook stock, and you're borrowing Bitcoin, well, crypto can go to zero, but you're not going to get liquidated because stocks tend to not fall that much. And this is why I'm so excited about US treasuries and stocks and other real world assets coming on chain, because it'll make the crypto market more stable as other assets are able to connect to it and kind of hold them up. So I like how they word this stuff here, stocks that pays rent. You're really just getting a yield from, staking and people borrowing it. But it says here, Edel is the autonomous revenue engine for tokenized equities, purpose-built smart contracts that originate price and settle securities lending without intermediaries. Wall Street pedigree meets DeFi instincts, engineered for institutions, permissionless for everyone. So it says here, the system failed us, uncovering Wall Street's best kept secret. I'm just going to talk you guys through all this stuff so you know what they're actually saying. You can tell some Wall Street folks really wrote this. So it says stocks lending mints double-digit billions every year, yet wallets that supply the assets see none of the flow, right? So it says it's 3.5 trillion rehypothecated in global equities cycled through broker balance sheets every year, $10 billion in rent skimmed, yield basically, annual stocks lending spread harvested by intermediaries in 2024, and 0% share for asset owners that fund the trade middleman book the cash flow, right? So it says Edel replaces rent-seeking broker pipes with autonomous rails that permissionlessly open securities lending to any wallet plugged into the network. It says the Edel Finance protocol runs natively on ETH, anchored by battle-tested, audited smart contracts delivering institutional-grade lending and borrowing to funds, treasuries, and individual users. Every basis point of spread reclaimed from the intermediary desk flows to the protocol, servicing the $10 billion in securities plus lending revenue stream for participants for the first time. Advanced risk engines collapse the gap between TradFi desk and DeFi liquidity, unlocking programmable access to liquidity and durable income on any portfolio. All right, so they go on to talk about how it works. It's the same thing as Aave. You deposit, let's say, Apple stock onto the platform, and you can use that Apple stock as collateral to borrow ETH, right? To use your ETH to farm, or just want extra ETH price exposure to do whatever you want to do, right? You can do looping. But the cool thing is, if you borrow, instead of having ETH as your collateral, and ETH drops and now you're closer to liquidation, Apple's your collateral, and Apple is not as volatile as ETH or any other crypto asset for that matter, including Bitcoin. So then they go to talk about market opportunity and timing. So it says the $2.6 trillion market opportunity for tokenized stock lending infrastructure and the timing factors that make this transformation inevitable. So they talk about $2.6 trillion in stocks already on loan. So this is proof that the appetite for borrowing already exists. And then in terms of captured spread, it was $10.3 billion captured in 2024, right? And regulators plugging in. So SEC forward guidance and global regulations are primed to unleash large-scale tokenization of equity. So I do believe that once the Clarity Act passes, this project could probably pump pretty hard. and it was running pretty hard the past couple of days despite the market dropping. They go on to talk about why your stocks should earn. Your stocks are valuable assets, but when left idle, they're only delivering price appreciation and dividends. Meanwhile, brokers quietly lend them out and capture the majority of the income for themselves. By enabling stock lending directly through Edel, you can unlock that hidden stream of earnings while keeping full ownership of your portfolio. That's the cool thing about staking on a platform like Aave. You don't pay taxes on borrowed funds. That's one, right? So if you use, let's say you want to buy a home and you use your Apple stock as collateral to borrow some USDC, if Apple goes up 100%, well, you just got that loan for free and you still got to benefit from the price appreciation from Apple, right? So it allows you more options as an investor and allows you to earn without selling. So they talk about how the process works. You just stake it on the platform and then you get your loan to value ratio once you go to try to borrow something, and it's literally the same as Aave but for stocks. Then they have the portfolio strategy, so leverage, this is what we talked about, over collateralized lending, tax efficient rebalancing, right? So you rotate crypto assets without triggering taxable events by leveraging collateral stablecoin borrowing. We just talked about that too. Income enhancement, basically what we talked about as well. You earn price capital gain appreciation as well as borrowing interest income by staking it on the platform. Then they have a few advanced strategies that they go through that you can implement on the platform as well once it's live. Concentration management, liquidity ladder, cross-asset arbitrage, rate optimization, and looping. Right, these are all things that you can also do on Aave. Now, if we look at their tokenomics, you can see that 50% went to the community for TGE, 12.7% goes to the team with a 6-month cliff and 36-month vesting. So this token just dropped. So for 6 months, the team isn't going to be able to sell anything. Then they're going to be able to sell the rest over a 36-month time frame. 15% went to their reserve, 3-month cliff with 36-month vesting. 15.8 went to the investors. 30% for an airdrop, 2.7 for advisors. So I'm not sure when the investors' funds are going to be unlocked. It doesn't say that here. And if we look here, you can see the market cap's 33.1 million, while the FDV is 68. So around half of the tokens still need to be unlocked. And the $68 million FDV is very, very low. I will say that. All right, so this is Edel markets here, how markets work. So basically, if you don't understand how Aave works again, how you earn rewards on this platform, or yield or rent as they call it, is you stake your Apple stock on here, for example. I'm not sure where this Apple stock is being custodied. I wasn't able to find that either, but you stake your Apple stock and then you have people who are borrowing Apple stock, right? The people who borrow Apple stock are going to pay more than what they're paying you as a supplier, and they keep the difference. So like, let's say it's a 10% APR to borrow Apple stock and they're paying you 5%, then they have a 5% spread that they're able to make, and that's how this platform makes money. Are they going to share some of that with the users? That is to be determined. I know they mentioned airdrops up here, so I'm not sure how that works, but once the app is live, you're probably going to be able to stake it and earn points and get an airdrop or something like that. This is really important, oracles and price feeds. So an oracle is basically, think of it as a bridge that connects blockchain data to off-chain data, right? And Chainlink is the most popular oracle provider. And they are using Chainlink oracles. They're also using Ondo as well. So it says here, oracles are the backbone of the pricing system. They provide real-time price information that powers portfolio values, borrowing limits, health factor calculations, and fair liquidation. So if you want a price of a stock that's off-chain to be on-chain, you have to use an oracle so that basically the prices are legitimate and there isn't any kind of arbitrage, right? So they go on to talk about how they use oracles to fetch prices, verify freshness, apply fallbacks, update the protocol. And they also go on to talk about the oracles that they use, right? Ondo Oracle, Chainlink Oracle, stock data streams. And they go on to talk about how the oracles update and everything like that. It's pretty built out. They even have a section here for advanced features and things like that, interest rate models, utilization ratio and interest, right? So they have it pretty planned out. I will say that. This part's important here, risk management framework. So it says the Edel protocol leverages Aave's battle-tested infrastructure to provide decentralized liquidity access with comprehensive risk management measures. Understanding these risks helps you make informed decisions, So they go on to talk about the risk, right? This is a big one. So they don't have a smart contract out yet. The app's also not live, so that's okay. They launched the token before launching the app. I have no problem with that. All right, they said it is built on Aave's extensively audited and battle-tested code base, and they benefit from Aave's multiple independent third-party security audits. But you have to keep in mind, Aave is using crypto price data, not stock price data. So they are going to have to get audited for sure. And they go on to talk about that, right? This is a risk. Oracle dependencies introduce potential risk from incorrect price valuation or data feed failure. So, the Oracle could malfunction and be listing the wrong Apple price, and then you get liquidated when you shouldn't have, right? So they did say in here that they are working on an audit or audits. So I would like to see those when they come out. Now, here we are on their website, and it says launching soon, right? You can't launch the app yet. You can't get the token. You can join the wait list here, right? Just put in your email. But if we scroll down here, they go on to talk about what it is, show some projects that's in the ecosystem that they're using, right? Listing some cool stats, earn from stocks, collateralize. They give you all the information on how things are going to look. I'm actually excited about this project, guys. It's actually a pretty huge problem that they're solving. And if we look at their socials, they have 300 people on Telegram. I'm gonna join that. All right, so we're in there, and you can write in here, which is cool. Okay, 834 members on Discord, not bad. This is a pretty new project. And then if we look at their Twitter, they do have 6,775 followers. The only thing I don't like about this project is that the team, I can't find anything about the team or the founders anywhere. And based off of reading the docs, the people who wrote this was definitely credible, right? It definitely wasn't some quick ChatGPT docs write-up. So I would like to know who the team is so I can verify their credibility. I would like to see the audits. But if we look at this in terms, I'm not doing an official price prediction right now, but just to give you an idea as to how big this can go. If we go over to DeFi Llama and we look at the top protocols, Aave is the top protocol with $30 billion in TVL, and that's crypto. Imagine if you can have stocks, right? It could definitely get to a $30 billion TVL, actually way more because the stock market's bigger. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. They need to be battle tested. They need to get audited, right? It took Aave a while to get to this point. But with the problem that they're solving, this is a lot of room for growth, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised. Aave just launched their app. Aave's been in cahoots with regulators for a long time, and I wouldn't be surprised if Aave starts to offer the same offering and kind of blows them out of the water just because they've been, in the game for so long. So it really depends on the team and the connections that they have and everything like that. Now, since you guys made it to the end, am I buying this project or not, and why? Not quite yet, but I do want to. It is officially on my radar. And if you want to know if I'm buying it and you want to know where I'm taking profits, scan this QR code or just click the link in the description and join our free community. I already told you guys at the beginning of the video what you get from being a free member, but we also have paid memberships too, where we show you how to run your portfolio like a market maker. And I think we're the best DeFi group, not just for the quality, but for the price as well. So if you're interested in that, like I said, you can join our free community. You can book a one-on-one call, or you can RSVP for one of our DeFi webinars. But with that, I thank you so much for watching. I love every single one of you who tuned in. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and trade safe.